Oh, now I understand the show.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Ben Stiller. He's a comedy icon, an actor and director who's graced the screen for more than 3 decades. You can catch him starring in the upcoming holiday comedy Nutcrackers, scheduled to be released on Hulu and Disney Plus November 29th. And at long last, the Emmy Award-winning acclaimed hit Severance returns for Season 2 January 17th on Apple TV+. Ben Stiller, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Great to be here.
What's your mindset like going into this interview? Are you a hot sauce person by nature?
I'm not, but I'm also game and excited for what's going to happen, and maybe I'll do good. Right?
I think you will. I can see it in your eyes right now, Ben.
And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna go. I guess you have to go all the way through, right?
You have to.
So I'm gonna go through it. All right. I'm just seeing what the baseline is here. And already
Calibrating it.
I'm realizing what the situation is. No, good.
So I'm curious, what are the steps that go into setting the tone and vibe for a series like Severance? Like, it seems like such a difficult thing to coordinate, from the script to the performance to the aesthetic to the pace and all the other elements that drive a show like that.
We're just beginning. It always for me was started in comedy, really, because it's sort of a workplace comedy, but it's also very, very strange and maybe a little bit scary. And then as the show developed, it got a little weirder and stranger and maybe less comedic than I'd originally thought it was. But I feel like that's always at the kind of the root of it is that workplace comedy. Kind of like, like shows like The Office or Parks and Rec. Those were shows for me that were sort of in the DNA of what the show was. This is good. Kind of sweet.
You kind of catch like a little cinnamon up front almost.
Yes.
And then kind of that fruity pear comes in.
Yeah.
And then it does have like a little lasting heat on it, but look at you, Ben.
Just a little kick,
little
but
kick,
not too much.
Just a little kick.
Yeah.
Do you have an all-time most treasured Knicks moment to have experienced live?
In the playoffs last season, that incredible Dante DiVincenzo shot against Philadelphia. I think it was the second game of the playoffs. Second game against Philadelphia. Dante took the first shot, and then it came down, missed it, then came back around to him, and then he hit it. It was just so electric. And I was there with my son, so it was a great, father-son moment.
Is it weird for you to actually have like a good team to root for? Because I root for historically bad teams.
Who do you root
And when
for?
you have, I'm a Bears fan, I'm a White Sox fan, just had the worst
White Sox
season
had the worst season ever. Right?
In the history of baseball. That game's been going on for a while. When you have these unicorn eras where you actually have to deal with concepts like hope and expectations, it does kind of like recalibrate your psychology as a fan. I'm wondering, is that like kind of strange for you now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like sort of generational trauma or something. It's an exciting time. I love our team. I love the energy on our team. I love the camaraderie. But I think there's always that part where the Knicks fan where you're like, don't quite,
don't lean in too hard.
Is this actually going to happen? Yeah. This is good. I mean, this doesn't feel more intense than number 2.
It almost feels less.
Yeah.
I actually think.
Yeah.
You're in the game because you're in the game now.
Right.
You walk in, a little trepidatious, a little nervous, but then, you take an elbow, you grab a rebound.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you're in flow state.
Get in flow, get out of your head.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Can't think too much. Just got to shoot or eat. That's really good.
So reading about your childhood, shooting remakes of Airport 1975 or like thumbing through issues of American Cinematographer, it kind of reminded me of the childhood scenes of Spielberg and The Fabelmans. Mm-hmm. Do you remember your earliest memory of like knowing that you have a true love of filmmaking?
I mean, I think back to getting the Super 8 camera that my dad got me. I started to just film stuff when I was about 8, 9, 10 with my friends. And growing up on the Upper West Side in the 70s, it was kind of rough and tumble. So we would do our kind of own versions of retribution because I would sometimes get mugged as a kid. So we'd do these little sort of like retribution stories where it'd be like I walk down the street and a kid like roughs me up, takes my money or whatever, and then runs away. And then I get my other friend and then we run after him and we just like pummel the hell out of him. Then we like would experiment with special effects and try doing things where you like make ourselves disappear or do double exposures or, you know, all the stuff we'd be watching in the movies. And so it just became, I mean, it was like what I loved to do. And I kind of knew, I think, since I was like probably like 9 or 10, I was like, all right, I want to be a director. That's what I want to do. Am I getting too confident here? I feel like I'm getting a little too confident. Does it like take a big leap up and...
Let's remember this time, you know? Like the other reason
let's
why...
remember this time?
Like, yeah, let's remember the good times, all right? Lock yourself into this moment. Be present in this moment, all right,
That laugh was so ominous. All right.
How would you articulate the difference between a star actor's relationship with the studio when making a film versus a director's relationship with the studio while making a film? You know, as someone who's been on both sides of that fence, I'm curious if one is more complicated than the other.
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, the director always has much more responsibility. You know, you're the person, if you're directing, that has to, first of all, get what you want on the screen, get the performances, get, you know, it's at the end of the day, you're the one who's making the movie and, you know, it's your responsibility to make it the way you want. While star of a movie can sometimes live in their own kind of, you know, bubble. Sometimes they can live in the world of like, hey, you know what? I gotta catch a Knicks game at 7:30. But we have like 2 hours more to shoot. Every actor comes from a place of, I think, vulnerability. There's fear. Actors and stars figure out ways to cope with that. So if you don't make your day and your actor leaves early or, you know, they show up late, sometimes, you know, the studio will maybe understand that, but it's the director's responsibility to kind of like figure out how to make it work. And so, again, it comes back to like if you have a great relationship with your actor, your star who really cares as much as you do, they can be a partner to you, but it also can go the other way. And I've experienced both sides of it for sure. I like it. I'm enjoying it. All right.
I am too, right along with you.
Yeah.
Hand in hand.
Yeah. All right, good.
Through the gauntlet, Ben.
Good.
Is it true that the Motion Picture Association would not allow for the name Fokker unless the filmmakers could prove that there was actually someone with that surname?
Oh, I think that is true. Yes. Yeah. They because it was a PG-13, I think, and they thought it was too close to fucker.
So they're like, if you wanna clear this hurdle, you have to show us a photocopy of someone's driver's license.
Yeah,
with
well,
this
they have to clear names somehow. I don't understand how it works legally, honestly, but that something like that did happen. I also remember having to go to speak to the arbitration board when they wanted to give Zoolander an R rating. The goat orgy thing was something they didn't care for, or they didn't think it was wholesome enough. And it was just so ridiculous. The whole thing was so ridiculous. And I wrote like a little speech and I had to, go through it all.
You had to make the case?
Yeah, and I think I had to talk about like other movies that had come out that had, worse things in them.
You had to cite comps.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, but this was a real thing.
Yeah,
it was nerve-wracking because it was so important because we didn't want, when you have a comedy and you have jokes that work, the last thing you want to do is have to cut them for a rating. I'm kind of hoping for some more of a reaction. Is that stupid? Okay. The small of my back is starting to sweat a little bit. I'm just going to be honest.
Right, no, and I appreciate that kind of transparency. Like as we work our way through here, there's going to be a lot that goes on. So you just let me know. Give me the play-by-play.
Up to this point, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
How are you assessing my ability to take in the hot sauce?
Well, first off, I'm encouraged by it.
Okay.
Like you're in like an 80th percentile.
Really?
Right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So.
Okay.
Take that home.
I feel like at home, in my home, my wife, my son, the daughter would, like, at this point, I'm probably like beating the odds in terms of what they expected.
Yeah.
Because they were basically like good luck, and they didn't think I was going to do that well up to this point. So I'm feeling good.
There you go.
Okay.
So when Vince Vaughn was on the show, he made a really interesting point about how the lead in a broad comedy needs to maintain a level of credibility and a level of specificity while the supporting characters can play more in the absurd.
Yeah.
Does that track for you?
I think it's right. I think you do have to be grounded and have something for the audience to connect with in terms of something they can identify with, no matter how crazy the stuff is that's going on around you. And in Dodgeball, like, you look at Vince, he's playing super straight, almost defiantly so, you know? But then Vince also has that other thing, which is he just has like an incredibly, unique and funny persona.
Yeah.
And he can improvise like nobody else.
Nobody can spin a phrase like
Yeah, I saw him on the show here. He's like, he just, talking about all those catchphrases over the years and things that those come out of him usually, and I don't know, it's fun to work with somebody who makes you laugh, all the time. My nose is running a little hotter.
Yeah. You don't have to wait for it,
Yeah. Right, it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is more like what I think of when I think of spicy hot.
Distracting from the meal a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
As a filmmaker, are test audience a force of good or a force of evil?
Good question. They can be either, I think. I think a test audience is a good thing in that you watch the movie, and for a comedy, you hear where they're laughing or where they're not laughing. Then the second part of it is they hand out questionnaires where they ask people, what did you like? What didn't you like? What part was slow for you? What character did you like? What character didn't you like? Those kinds of things can then get, then it becomes very subjective. But with studios, they do that because, they have a lot of money in the movie and they want to reach, but it can really end up, taking the uniqueness sometimes out of a movie. Am I allowed to prophylactically have some milk?
Yeah, and I'll join you.
Okay. I appreciate your
mirroring,
being connected.
Mm-hmm. Always.
All right.
I'll follow you wherever you want to go.
All right, good.
Take the wheel.
Gotta eat it, right? Not too bad.
Whoa. I was not prepared for that.
I feel invigorated.
Yeah. Alive, baptized by the fire of the show.
Yeah. It's remaining with me.
And possibly even growing.
Am I allowed to share?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. It grows.
Right.
Okay. All right.
What can you tell the people?
Oh man. Okay.
What can you tell the people about Heat Vision and Jack? I read the premise about it online. I was shocked when the pilot didn't get picked up.
Shit. I'm kind of hoping for some more of a reaction. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel silly for what I said a minute ago.
Remember when I was saying, remember the good times?
I know, but then I
had
a sin of hubris. Oh shit. Okay. Heat Vision and Jack was a pilot that. Oh, now I understand the show.
Yeah.
It was a pilot. Sorry.
Make no apologies. I'm going through the same thing.
It was a pilot that I made. Yeah, with Rob Schraub and Dan Harmon, brilliant writers who came up with this crazy idea about an astronaut who flies too close to the sun. And so when the sun is up, his brain expands and he's the smartest man in the world. When the sun goes down, he's normal. That's Jack Black. And his best friend gets turned into a motorcycle. That's Owen Wilson. I don't know why they didn't pick it up. I just want to make it through to the end. You have to.
And here's some good news for you, Ben.
Okay.
Nothing is as spicy as that last wing. More good news. Would you like some ice cream right now?
Yes. Yeah.
We are always
Oh my God.
ready for you.
All right. Does this mean like I'm weak or something?
No, I'm
Okay.
gonna join you. You know,
Oh my God, that's so good.
how good
Yeah.
does ice cream taste after the Bomb Beyond Insanity?
Oh, this is great. Thank you. All right. I'm trying to figure out how to approach the last two. In terms of, I mean, let's just take one at a time, but.
Well, I'll follow your
Okay, all right.
approach.
Is it time?
If you're ready.
All right.
Respect.
All right. Okay. What's that one?
So this is Arbol Scorpion. Not fun by any stretch of the imagination, but not the kind of instant violence of the last sauce.
Okay, good. Yeah. The last one sort of had, I think, like a more of like a post, violent thing happening.
Right, yeah. It's
That's good. What's that? I know.
So you once called Star Trek your best friend?
What?
You once called Star Trek your best friend.
I did.
Is there a technology or a component of life aboard the USS Enterprise that you wish were more present in our reality and in our world?
I love Star Trek. It's funny, I called him my best friend. It's really sad, actually. Well, the transporter, obviously. And then just to be on the bridge of the Enterprise with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock. I just like all those characters. This really is unlike any other experience.
That's what we strive for here at Hot Ones.
How much do you put on?
Another satisfied
that?
customer. That is extremely. That's aggressive.
It's aggressive?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just I do one of these.
Okay.
There you go. That's perfect.
Does anybody just go to sleep?
No, you'd be the first. You'd be breaking ground.
Just pass out.
You'd be breaking ground, man. There we go.
Oh my God.
Yep. But the good news is, that's a wrap on the Hot Ones gauntlet.
All right.
You were worried how you'd fear, but look at you now.
Look at
made
me.
it all the way through.
Unscathed.
And in this winding interview, we've talked a lot about your career, but it really is only the tip of the iceberg as someone who's been making films for over 3 decades. And here is a Lore of Hollywood fun fact.
Okay.
Did you know that Your Friends and Neighbors was the first ever movie reviewed on Rotten Tomatoes?
No.
I'm curious, reflecting back, which
crazy.
film of yours do you think was most misunderstood or treated unfairly by critics now with, the benefit?
Oh man,
Of
good
hindsight.
question. I don't know. I mean, look, it's very hard to analyze why critics like something or don't. I'm always surprised when critics love something, and I'm always surprised when they hate something too. Because it's so subjective. But I mean, Zoolander 2, probably. I gotta say, I think it got kind of, it's hard to think it was that bad that people didn't like it that much, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh,
That's right, man. Come on. When am I coming back here to do this again?
whenever you want. Open door policy for you, Ben.
Zoolander 2, Zoolander 2. Pain. Which is cathartic.
Closing out season 25 with a bang, and look at you, Ben Stiller, taking on the wings of death, living to tell the tale. Now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you. This camera, this camera, this camera. Let the people know what you have going on in your life.
Okay. Severance season 2 is coming out January 17th. Nutcrackers is going to be on Hulu and November 29th, I think. And Escape at Dannemora is on Netflix, starring Benicio del Toro and Patricia Arquette, Paul Dano. They're amazing in it. And that's it. I'm happy to be here. It's great. All right. That was awesome, man. So much fun. Oh my God.
Great questions, man.
It reminded me a lot of Vince's.
Oh, really?
Actually, to be honest. Yeah.
Cool. Seriously though, like I'm a fan of the show, but my son is just like was so excited. He's 19, he loves it. Yeah.
Tell him I said hi. I mean
I
that.
will.
Like,
He's a fan.
Now I understand the show.
Hot Ones fans, Sean Evans checking in to remind you, new season means new sauces. And if you'd like to live the experience of season 25, you can do it right now with the Hot Ones. What do we call this? With the brand new Hot Ones Season 25 10-pack. Heatness.com, that's Heatness.com to get your hands on the Season 25 Hot Ones Hot Sauce Gauntlet. Get them while they're hot, and be careful around the eyes.